Okay. I hope this is all working. Can you hear me? Somebody tell me if you can hear me, because I can't. Oh, my phone just dinged. Maybe somebody's telling me. Nope. Hello, hello. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Thank you, Linda Faust. Will you tell me if you can hear me on this thing? You know, no thanks to anyone who has been over to my house with microphones and tripods, computers. I have been working on this all by myself today. I can hear you. Thank you, Paula Zachary. Paula. Look, I tried this laptop. It was a mess. I tried this iPad. It was a mess. I had my phone out. Look, and I gave birth to a technical guru who lives... Oh, I forgot my coffee. It's over there. Who lives in Hollywood, California. Yeah. I know. Keep him in your prayers because he is taking it serious. He calls me. I call him or he calls me every day, but he has been very good, at least by answering the phone. And someone says, "Hi, Chonda. Long time no see. Tug to Taviano. Tug, do we know each other? What an interesting name. It seems like I would know that name. It seems very familiar." Oh, Chonda autocorrect, yeah. Well, I don't know what you guys want to talk about. I had just a couple of things planned, to tell you the truth. I am bored stiff, like I'm sure half the world is. I've cleaned out closets. I have, what else have I done? Cleaned out more closets. I started a puzzle, which y'all know I love that. I work puzzles a lot anyway. And, you know, I'm probably going to have to go to the grocery store at some point because I'm drinking coffee with no cream now. That's huge for me. I have nothing left in the house but decaf. That's huge. I have no eggs, no bacon. Yeah, it's getting serious. Those are my principles, eggs and bacon. I eat breakfast for supper a lot. I don't know if anybody else does, but I'm off bread, so I've not been doing bread. But I'm telling you, during all this mayhem, I might have to go back to bread and sugar. I hope my nephew doesn't hear me. And speaking of my nephew, brilliant doctor, physician's assistant at Branches. Oh, sorry, I kicked the TV. At Branches Counseling Center, which is still open and going. It's not open. Well, I don't know if it is or not. I don't think it is. But the branch is in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, and you can go to branchescounselingcenters.com. We don't turn anybody, and our counselors are inundated right now with online counseling, which is good, and that's so needed because at this time, isolation is not your friend if you're a depressed person. And so, and I struggle with it. Oh, I guess I should turn this down. I struggle with isolating on a good day. So I have to be very careful not to establish a pattern that's, you know, going to be just really great. Somebody asked me, "How's all this doing with you?" And I'm like, "It's doing great. I love being by myself." And that took a while. I used to not could be with anybody but my man. And since he's in heaven, I kind of feel like sometimes he's around. I'm trying to turn all my sounds off. Silent mode on. Got it. But, so I hear you. Anybody have a question real quick before I dive into what I was going to talk about? Hello from Ohio. Todd from Rush. Okay, that's where I heard that. From Rush Concerts. Man, I haven't seen you guys. I don't know how you're doing, but not a lot of concerts out there anyway. The Pumpkin Lady says hi. Julie, I loved my pumpkin that you made me that looked like Minnie Pearl, and it was on a Opry stage. I remember that. I don't know if you remember that, and I hope it's the same Pumpkin Lady. And someone says, "Please make us laugh." Okay, boom, laugh. Ah! You think you could just turn it on like that, but you can't. Oh, shoot, I was going to... Guys, I'll just tell you this. I was going to demonstrate it. So, yeah, and I'm sorry, my hair is curly when I do nothing to it. This is doing nothing to it. It's just naturally curly. It used to not be. You turn 60 and your hair curls. So, Jack. Anyway, Jack is wondering who in the world am I talking to? And I don't know whether to look at the little green light or the screen. That's always hard to know. But I have to tell you, this is funny. So, I went to Zany's the other night, and that was before they said lockdown, lockdown, lockdown. And they just said, go with caution, whatever. Well, now our governor has says, if you're not essential in any way, stay home. And they've closed a lot of more restaurants and things like that. Although, I will say, I'm really proud of Nashville and our surrounding areas. I think we've done a pretty good job. Jack has decided to play with his toy. But anyways, I went to Sandy's and I had my little surgical gloves. I had bought a box of surgical gloves when I went to Israel, and I've given all of them out now to people that need them except for a couple of pairs. So I went to Zany's with my gloves on, and I was chewing gum. And if you remember, I did a little Facebook Live on the way there to remind you to watch. Well, anyway, when I hung up and I was reading the comments, some people had said, stop talking with gum in your mouth because some of y'all are snotty. But anyway, it keeps my throat moist when the allergies are so bad. But anyway, so I had my rubber glove, and I took my gum like this and rolled down the window to throw it out. And it wouldn't go. It was stuck. So I was like, oh, let me take this one. And so then it stuck on this one. And then I tried to get the gloves off to get the gum off my hands. I don't know if that's funny to anybody else. I wish I'd videoed it because it was that stupid. And I laughed so hard. Okay, but that's what I was going to say. About the time I came into the weariness of all of this, somebody sends me the most hilarious memes. And so some of them I can't share with you because I have some really crazy friends. But one of my crazy friends that you've met, Gary Chapman, we're becoming good friends. I love his wife and his baby girl and the story of this beautiful girl that they adopted. But anyway, he sent me this today, and I thought it was so funny. Now, this is written by a husband, mind you. Says, pandemic update. We are 10 days into self-isolation, and it is really upsetting me to witness my wife standing in the living room. She's gazing aimlessly into space with tears running down her cheeks. Oh, no, I'm sorry, I messed up. See, I can't even read a joke. We are 10 days into self-isolation, and it is really upsetting me to witness my wife standing at the living room window, gazing aimlessly into space with tears running down her cheeks. It breaks my heart to see her like this. I have thought very hard about how I can cheer her up. I've even considered letting her in. But rules are rules. Is that awful? That's hysterical. Oh, Meg, you're from New York. I know it's got to be so anxious there. And somebody from Miami. Oh, my goodness. So that was my note from Gary this morning. Just about the time this is about to get. So that's a little meme I sent back to him. Can you see it? Or is it too glary? I think that's hilarious. That little funny laughing dude. I know y'all have that on your phone. I am so completely challenged. I don't know how. I'm sure there's probably a filter I could have made myself look beautiful tonight. But I got none. And then one of my girlfriends sent me this one that I thought was absolutely hilarious. And it says, oh, shoot. Somebody's going. See, my phone keeps messing up. Oh, here it is. I know y'all are going to get bored real quick and sign off, but that's okay. Look. It says, I reached the stage where Jolene can come and take my freaking man. You know that Dolly Parton, Jolene. I think that's hilarious. There's a little advantage of being by yourself and all this. You can't get on your husband's nerves. And nobody can get on your nerves when you're home by yourself. And there would be a lot of things that's getting on my nerves right now. Oh, I get... Dr. Fauci says that President Trump acted very, very early to combat the spread of the coronavirus. That's so true. Y'all, I'm not even going to get into politics because when I do, Facebook messes me up and then I can't get to y'all for a while because I get into big trouble. Oh, man, I don't want to spill that on the piano. But now they're thinking of, some people are thinking of not airing the president's updates, which is a sign he's doing so well they can't stand it, and I say this 100 million times. I'm not defending myself for supporting him anymore. But he is my president, not my pastor, not my spiritual advisor. And I'm telling you, I love, 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 love my pastor. And I hope he's not watching. But if he was running for president, I probably wouldn't vote for him. He's a great pastor, and that's what he needs to do. That's his gift. Donald Trump is a ruthless, tough, sometimes a jerk of a businessman. But man, is that just what we've been needing. Can you imagine all these companies and corporations? He's just called them straight up, called and talked to them man to man and said, y'all need to start making masks. You need to start making this. You need to not lay off your people. He takes no salary. So I don't care. All these liberal people, and I'm about done with, I try to find the good in all of them. But there's some making it very hard to find any good in any of them. It is just about to be my undoing of politics, period. And I try to just give my opinion because people ask me, but that's my opinion. My friend says to keep from gaining weight now, she wears, I missed it. Oh, she wears her, well, shoot, it's going too fast, y'all. Somebody wears something to keep from gaining weight. What? 1,000,000 spanks or something so you can't swallow. Your night in Clarksville was the last time I went anywhere. Me? Well, not me too, but pretty close, Brenda. That was our last night on the tour. That was so sad. So sad. But I was so glad we got to do it and got to be there and encourage one another. I had such good laughs that night. Oh, it's coming from the top down or the top or the up down. I don't know. My little zoomer thing. Oh, wait a minute. It's because I keep touching. This is not a touch screen. Oops. See how blonde is? She wears her swimsuit instead of her pajamas. Oh, gosh, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't want to wake up in the morning and see myself in my swimsuit. That probably would keep you from eating, that's for sure. I'm a hairdresser, and I've been out of work for 3 weeks. I know it will be at least 4 more weeks. I'm falling into deep depression. Please pray for me. And I will, Rika. I'm going to pray for you. I'm going to pray for everybody before this is over. But here's what I want you to do tonight before you go to bed. Spend about an hour in your house turning every single light on in your house. You go to a room that is the brightest room in your house. I have a button, and I'm so blessed it was here before I bought this place. But there's a button I push, and every light turns on. And let me tell you, when they're on, it gets hot in here. There's a gazillion lights in. I don't know who built this condo, but they put 1,000,000 lights in here. But anyway, that helps me a lot, to keep the blues away. It just brightens your eyes, what your eyes are seeing. Secondly, for me, I tell Alexa to turn on Kirk Franklin. And I play Kirk Franklin music or Marvin Sapp. I play Tasha Cobb. Sometimes I'll play Earth, Wind, and Fire. There's a pattern there if you don't know what I'm talking about. You just put on some uplifting music, and I mean you crank it loud till your neighbors can hear it. You just keep pouring that into your soul. Stay away from looking at old pictures and sadness. Stop watching sad Hallmark movies or anything like that. Keep yourself surrounded by funny things. I get stuck on Facebook and I watch those funny videos about babies, funny things babies do. I will laugh, or I'm a big, the slapstick person in me, the jumping off, the idiots that jump off the roofs and stuff like that, and the fall down and all that. I just crack up at that. Some of it's terrible, because I'm sure somebody got hurt. I watch things and go, okay, somebody had to die, but that is so funny. So all that to say, you have to fight like you're fighting for your life, because you are. Don't let depression win. Oh no! It says my battery unless plugged in. Okay, talk amongst yourselves for 5 seconds. I'll be right back. Oh, I gotta get the plug, the cord. Shucks, I forgot. I'm coming. goodness. I almost let the battery run down. That'd have been a disaster after all this hard work. Okay. Oh. There you go. Ding. Woo! Okay. Now did you see all my messy house behind me? Well, this is a verse that came to mind today. You know, the pastor preached Sunday. I don't know if you are on my private page, and I don't know how to tell you to find it, but I go to Bethlehem Free Will Baptist Church in Ashland City. And I'll be honest with you, I never did kind of think I would be a Free Will Baptist. Wonderful people. Wonderful church. But you know me, in theology, we have a little love-hate relationship. But my pastor has been so good to me. Oh my goodness, his wisdom, and the pastor and his wife, they're attentive. And I just ever play the piano? Yes. I just did. I play and sing in here and entertain myself all day long. That's probably what's helping me a lot. When is your movie going to be coming out? Oh, thank you for asking. Well, during all of this, we were hoping that it would come out in September. But we realized that's not going to happen because we're going so much movies that are releasing and catching up and all of that. And to be honest, we just hate for it to get lost in the shuffle. This might be my one and only shot at having a major motion picture out there, and so I think it's going to be 2021. I know, unless Jesus comes back, and then we'll just watch it on a big screen in heaven. Won't that be? Love to listen to Michael English. Well, I don't know what brought that up, but yes, I do too. I love this woman, my daughter and I too. Oh, you're talking to somebody else, I guess. Anyway, I love seeing all these comments. I wish I could read them faster. Wouldn't it be great if there was a Chonda Pierce voice for our clock? I know, it's whiny. I used to try to fix it, but then I started getting paid to talk like this, so I don't care. She's a riot. That's so sweet. All right. I forgot what I was going to do. Oh, I was going to read you my verse. Here's my verse. So the pastor was preaching. That's what I was talking about. We went and recorded it. There's like 7 people in this big sanctuary. We all sat apart. And that's got to be hard. It's hard enough to talk to a green light on the thing. So I don't know how he preaches, but boy, what an anointed sermon it was Sunday. And he just came right out and said how worry is really a sin. Now, I hate to hear that because that convicted me terrible because I worry about everything. I mean, now I don't worry where it paralyzes me. I live my life giving every day to Jesus. I just learned I had to do that. I know, look, my Bible is falling apart, but it's my favorite one. I have so much marked in it and everything. I hate to give it up. But anyway, I try not to live in a spirit of worry. And I worry about my son. Now, I say that I worry about my son, but now I don't. It doesn't keep me awake at night. I've put him in the Lord's hands. He knows, he's 30 years old. There's not a whole lot I can fuss and tell about him, and do about him. Other than I know the way he was raised, and I know that the Lord is faithful, and He's always been faithful to me to deliver on the things that concern me. Yeah, except one thing, which y'all know. But I keep praying over that, and I'm learning about that. I can't fix that. I'm recognizing how I could have been better and different, but I can't change it. And so maybe it's when you have watched people die, and I have watched them die, and I don't know if this is healthy or not, but I'm just telling you my philosophy on things. When you have been through some really, truly dark days, I mean, life and death, dark days. And you have begged for, people to be healed and salvation. And you've had things happen to you that you didn't ask for. And it was just horrible. And you lived through it. You have to remember that. You lived through it. And let me tell you, I have been so poor that we would pray for some groceries to show up from somewhere, because we had a baby, that needed to be, I needed to eat because I was nursing, and I nursed as long as I could because we were so poor. Yeah, so I remember those days, and I don't lament them, but I remember them to mark how good the Lord has been and how he brought us out of that. I watched my mother die. I got to hold her hand when she took her last breath, and oh, how I begged the Lord to let her stay, because I needed her at that time in my life so much. And I lived through it. Take out a sheet of paper today and look back on a day. Now, if you don't have a day like that, then forget you. Never mind, I won't talk to you. But mark on a piece of paper a day that there is no way you made it through that had it not been for the grace of God, or the spirit of peace that he gave you, or that fearless moment that you needed to fight off the attacker. They write down on a piece of paper, whether it was an hour, a day, or a name, or a word, whatever it was, the job you wanted and you can't believe you got it. You write down that goodness, the goodness of God, and you write that down and you put it on your refrigerator, because if that is true, then he will do it again. He doesn't just haphazardly speak it to our lives. He is watching us every minute, and I love that. And this too is going to pass. And yes, the numbers are going to be horrible next week. A lot of it's because so many are getting tested, and so that number climbs high and high and high, and that's going to look frightening. It's going to look terrible, just terrible. We're going to lose more people. The president said today, and in one of my conference calls today, that they try to encourage us to encourage you. The numbers are going to be terrible. It's going to look terrible. It's going to sound terrible. It's going to feel terrible, like we have been forgotten by God. But that's not so. It's just not so. And I don't know why he delivers some and he doesn't deliver others. But his dream for us is to be with him. And that's hard because we want to hang on to this world thinking this is all that's great. Some of us are going to lose our homes. Some of us, or I hope not. And the stimulus package has been a great blessing and will continue to be a great blessing for many, many people. But some of us are going to get so behind on our rent. We're going to get behind on our savings plan. We're going to get behind on paying this kid's school bill. All that to say, God has not negated us or forgotten any of that. And first of all, remember, that's just stuff. The key is to remember that God has been faithful in the past and he will be faithful again. And that's a lot of what the pastor preached on Sunday. It was just so good. But the idea of worry and not worry, and how do you stop worrying? So this was such a reminder in the book of Matthew, as you well know, in the 6th chapter, and this is the 25th verse. It says, "Therefore I tell you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat or drink, or about your body, what you will wear. Is not life more important than food, and the body more important than clothes? Look at the birds in the air. They do not sow. They do not soil. They might if you fly under them. Look at the birds in the air. They do not sow or reap or store away in barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not much more valuable than they? Who do you, by worrying, can add a single hour to your life?" In other words, if you spend too much time worrying, it's not going to add to your life. It's really going to detract from your life. It's going to make you miserable. You're going to be sick. You're going to be, it's just going to mess up the day that you have with your family, the day you have with your kids. My heart goes out to the people that are letting this worry really keep them from even enjoying the sunset. Had a beautiful sunset at my house tonight, and I'm so blessed, but that means it's probably going to rain tomorrow. But all that to say, I know that sounded really bad. Dusty Knapp just said, oh, I just remembered we were going to do something today. Oops. Yeah, Dusty Knapp, the piano player at my church. I didn't hear from him, so that's why I said, come on. But Dusty, if you're seeing this on live, we'll do it again this week. Y'all got to hear this guy play the piano. But I got to show you the sunset that I took. The sun's gone down now. But look, I go out there and I just marvel at the goodness of God. Look where I live. Can you see that? I know it's a glare, but I know there's all these tools where I should be able to bring that up so you can see it or something. Can you see it? Can you see me now? Can you see me now? I just love that. Anyway, I won't keep you long, but I just wanted to check in to see how you're doing. My friend Mark, he has all the gadgets and the tools. I'm trying to learn. Last night I read a lot about this stuff. I had to get, this is a Mac computer, and I don't know how to do Mac because I'm old fashioned. But this is this is a really cool computer, but I finally got it going. We take this on the road. I don't use it at home. It's the road computer, but we kind of got that all going. And then I got this microphone from Bone. Doesn't that look so? It's a real look how pretty it is. Can you hear me now? Yeah, it's supposed to be really, really good. And that hooks into the computer. I figured out how to do that all on my own. Lemuel, oh my gosh, from Brazil. How are things in Brazil, my friend? Man, so many wonderful people. I know someone who lost their brother the other day to the virus. Oh, her husband is still on a ventilator, and she's the only one who didn't get it. Just so hard. Can you believe it? There are families affected by this because when one gets it, it travels through a family. I'm so happy that you made it through that comedy about medicine. I love this. Sometimes y'all are just as crazy as I am. God has a grip on it. He already knows. I believe that He is reminding us to keep Him in control. That is true. I do believe that. I know that Louisiana is kind of a hot spot right now, and everybody's throwing out their blame because the president didn't tell them to not have Mardi Gras. If I remember correctly, the president did say stay home. So I don't know, these people that want to blame somebody, and mainly the people that are blaming other people are the people that don't want to turn the mirror around to themselves. So that's called deflecting. They all deflect. And I only know this because I'm a master at deflecting my own worry and my own pain. So two people have asked now. My son is well. He's healthy. He's great. He lives in West Hollywood, California. I used to laugh and say, he'll be the last person to ever get this because he never leaves his house anyway. He's an editor, a film editor and a video editor, and he edits stuff for people. And so he's got this big editing studio in his room. He walks from his bedroom to his office, back to his bedroom, and I've been sending some Amazon groceries, so that's good. He called me and thanked me for the beef jerky, the Slim Jims, and the ramen noodles. Those are his favorites. I know, but he got used to ramen noodles in college, and he fell in love with them, so there you go. I'm alone, too nice to get some. I'm alone, too nice to get some. Thanks, Chonda. Oh, too nice. I don't know what that means. On a brighter note, I first saw you perform in Springfield, Illinois. You were very young, and you were beginning with Mark Lowry. Yes, I was very young. Good Lord, have mercy. That was 28 years ago, maybe? Almost 30 years ago? I can't believe that. Oh, thank you, Misty. That is kind of a fun video. Be afraid, be very afraid. I don't know where you can get some of these things now. I think on Amazon, we could just look right now. I think on Amazon they've got some of my stuff. Maybe Netflix. I'm not so sure. Lord, you could ask Alexa. I don't even know. Let's see what happens on Amazon when you Google Chonda Pierce. Yeah, I never Google myself.
I don't know that one.
Alexa said sorry. She doesn't know that one. All right, I'm going to put it in here. Chonda Pierce DVDs and movies. Oh, the first one says The Bodyguard. I don't know why that came up. Kevin Costner. That's pretty neat. I wasn't in that movie, but thank you. Okay, here we go. It says, Enough. My movie Enough is on Amazon. Be Afraid, Be Very Afraid. That's the one. Isn't that Precious fan? Isn't that funny? I don't know what that means. But anyway, Be Afraid, Be Very Afraid. You know, that is true, Misty. It's very timely for right now. I filmed that just not long after 9/11, and it was fear was on the minds of everybody, and so I wanted to approach the idea of not living in fear, and so that was the topic of that. But we did it like it was a Carol Burnett show, which was kind of fun. Oh, Ken Davis was in that. We did a really funny little husband and wife sketch. That was really funny. But my son was in it, who was really little. We did a cooking segment, and everything went wrong. Everything went wrong. But it still turned out to be really funny. What else is on here? All these you can order, and they're delivered. Wow. Don't be afraid. There's only 2 left in stock, so you better hurry, I guess. Unashamed. Having a girls' night out, then Stand Up for Families. That's a really good series, something for your families to watch. What else? That's good. Four-Eyed Blonde is a DVD. All these are DVDs. Here's what have I got a story for you. It's used. There says it's 1 cent. There's a deal. Anyway, yeah, there's a lot of Chonda Pierce things on here on DVDs, and then my own website has some too. Chonda.org. Well, that is just, I'm kind of a big deal. Girl talk. Staying Alive Laughing. Look, 12 Wishes of Christmas. That was a movie I was in. Chonda Pierce. Oh, you know what? That's a piece of my mind. That might be good because that was a lot about depression. This ain't Prettyville. Well, look at all these things on here. Combo platter. Good Lord. That's $35? Don't get it from here. Get on my website. It's much cheaper. I don't know how this happens. I don't know why these are on here. That's kind of nifty. Well, there you go. And then, what? Piano. Oh, yeah. Tall kid. Yes, Robin. Oh, you just texted me that instead of sending it to me. You don't have to be lonely at quarantineonly.com. That's a new dating site. It's a joke, but it's funny. So there you go. Y'all want to sing? I wish you'd sing out loud to cover up the piano playing. Oh, shoot. Oh, I've covered up the knob. There we go. Can you hear it? Well, that's kind of funky. Guess I should have done this before, Sandro. I'm sorry. Okay, any more questions? Oh, doggone it. I almost signed off. Forgot to tell you the main thing I'm supposed to tell you. So, if you saw this on the website, is it upside down? I hope not. Is that backwards to you? I hope not. It's on Facebook Live, if you saw it. It is a list of all the shows, and they have all been rescheduled. And I'm so excited to get back to work. I can't believe I still have a job. Can't believe I haven't messed up my job. But anyway, these are all the shows. I'm not going to read them all off, but we start August the 6th. We're going to pick up where we left off, and August the 6th will be in Knoxville, Tennessee. Knoxville is such a fun place. It's a hard place, but it's a fun place. Timonian, Maryland, West Virginia, Memphis. Anyway, they're all back on there with a few added here and there so we can get from one place to the other. And I'm so excited. If you have a ticket from this tour that got canceled and you haven't used it, that's fine. All you have to do is bring it and you'll get in. You don't even have to reprint it, is what I hear. Wow, Steve Pennington. I just noticed you're on here. That's a pretty big deal. It was kind of a big shot in the Nazarene church. So, anyway, all the shows have been rescheduled. So we're coming. Now, if by chance you can't come, or you don't want to come, or you want your money back after this ridiculous live video, you can get your money back from the place you got your ticket in the first place. That's what I was supposed to tell you. Whatever website you got it from, awakeningevents.com, whether it was through my Facebook page that goes to awakeningevents.com, they will be glad to refund your ticket. But I hope you don't refund it. I hope that you come, because most of these were already kind of sold out anyway. And so we're also thinking of what we can do in these hard times to help those new ticket buyers. And also we are going, as it gets closer to time, we'll begin to announce, but I think we're really going to try to take up a bunch of groceries. Just bring one thing from your house, just a canned good or something. But we're going to take up groceries at every single event and refill the pantries at Salvation Army and in some of the local missions and some of the local food pantries, because buying groceries is going to be a tough thing for sure. I pray that you're all doing well, that you're holding on, and please adhere. We've got a couple of more weeks. Just hang in there. A few more weeks, a few more days. If you could hold out for 30 more days, I think we can do this. And I'm going to come back and talk to you more and more. I know I don't do it very much because I always feel like I don't have all the stuff and I don't know how to do all this by myself, but I'll get a little more organized. I'll get a list of jokes going. Maybe I'll figure out how I even show clips. Before long, I will be the master of my universe. Whoa! All right? But until then, I'm going to sing a song for you, and then I'm going to have a prayer with you, and then I'm going to go to bed. My hours are all messed up. I had no idea what today was. My girlfriend texted me, and I said, Jack is not feeling good. He's got to go to the vet. How do I make this happen? And she's trying to help me get to a vet and all that. And I said, well, he has an appointment today. And she goes, no, he has an appointment on Thursday. And I go, well, what's today? I don't know how I'm telling y'all all this, but it was funny. I don't know what day it is. I'm going to go find another closet to clean out before I go to bed. Just because I can. This is my favorite prayer course. If you've heard me sing it before, you just know that I love it so much because it truly describes how I get through every day. And I get lonely like everybody else. I had a good man, and this crisis time has really accentuated for me that he would be making me laugh every night. He would be making funny memes and jokes. He would certainly figured out all this electronic stuff by now. But he'd have been working out in the yard every day. Or we would have had such pretty flowers by now. It'd be amazing. Oh, something funny came up. That was weird. But anyway, I love this course. Falling in love with Jesus. Falling in love with Jesus. Falling in love with Jesus is the best thing I've ever done. And in his arms I feel protected. In his arms I have never been rejected. In his arms I feel protected. It's the best thing I've ever done. Falling in love with Jesus. Oh, falling in love with Jesus. Falling in love with Jesus. It's the best thing I've ever done. Father, we love you. We love these people tuning in, Father. And as much as I love them and their support and their dearness to me, it's nothing like the way you love them. The way that you are watching over your children. The way you know all these days ahead of us. You saw it coming down the pike. You touched our lives with love and peace and tenderness, even in the midst of turmoil. I just love that. There's something crazy about the way we reach out to you in tough stuff, and you are there with such tenderness, and we don't deserve it. Lord, this is a fallen, broken world, and yet you love us still. So, Father, the blood that was shed on the cross was enough to cover our pain. It was enough to cover the healing that we long for and look for. Be with our families. Help our relationships, Lord. May we gather them together every night and read from the Word of God. May this be a time that strengthens our families in the Word like nothing ever before. You go before us. You walk beside us. You have been where we have walked. You have blessed us many times. Remind us of every blessing so that we know the pattern of your love, so that we do not forget in the tough times. Give us peace and comfort, Lord. Make a way when there is no other way, for you are a good God, a great Daddy. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Thanks for tuning in. It's good to see you guys, and I'll talk to you in a few more days. Oh, did it stop?